We're going to have a great day today, and we're going to begin this morning with an ed talk from a former elementary and middle school teacher turned award-winning NPR education correspondent, Claudio Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez focuses on what he calls the 3 Ps of education reform: politics, policy, and pedagogy. He can focus on them easier than I can say it after getting in about 1:30 this morning. But I can bet for all of you, it's safe to say that these areas interest most of us, if not all of us in this room. Those of you who follow Claudio can attest that he's also known for his top 5 education predictions every year. I'm excited to hear from him today, and please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an important event for all the obvious reasons. Because until now, the federal government has had a very big role in mandating, if not, according to some, coercing states to adopt prescribed reforms. Now, every state will have to come up with its own plan to improve public schools, its own deadlines, its own metrics to measure improvement. And if schools don't improve, states on their own will have to figure out what to do, especially for the bottom 5% of struggling schools. Schools with the highest dropout rates, schools with low test scores, and the worst school climate. That's new. The message from Washington is this: you, the states, will have no one to blame but yourselves. If your failing schools don't improve, if you allow school districts to shun tougher standards or better tests, if there are no consequences for doing nothing. Still, this does not mean that the government will be left twiddling its thumbs. The U.S. Education Department still has a lot of power. You all know that. It can still slap sanctions on states. God forbid if kids don't test well, or if they don't test their kids every year or don't report the results disaggregated by race, income, gender. But yes, states will have more freedom to try new ways to reduce the achievement gap, help high poverty schools improve, and tackle other big problems, without the federal government, in theory, breathing down your necks. The success of this change in the federal-state relationship is what we're here to discuss. And in my view, from my perch as a reporter for National Public Radio, that relationship is riding almost entirely on one question: can the American people, trust states to do the right thing? Now, many of you seem very confident that we're not going to see a race to the bottom. Others say, well, that's wishful thinking. Some of us in the media think that. State and local school officials will come under greater scrutiny, maybe not as much from the federal government, but now, in this era, from parents and civil rights groups in particular, because of 2 huge issues that ESSA does not adequately address, in my view: teacher quality and funding. Let me just kind of whittle this down, because we do want to jump into our discussion with our panelists, whom I'm sure you all want to listen to and ask questions of. There will be a chance to do that. But let me give you a little bit of historical perspective, not that I need to, because most of you have been in this for so long that you know the history as well as anyone. But this is a reminder. You know, we bought into this idea that there can and should be so-called systemic change, that we as a nation can and should marshal the necessary resources and political will to truly educate every child, regardless of geography, race, ethnicity, sex, ability, or disability, across social and economic lines and classes. Since a nation at risk We've tried a lot of things, but have we really, ask yourselves, have we really given these best ideas and reforms a chance to take root? And what makes us think that that's going to change? The impulse has been to raise the quality of education by mandating better schools, greater accountability, putting in place the right metrics, to measure students' academic progress based on the highest possible standards and assessments. But in a country like ours, we have viewed systemic change with enormous suspicion. Many, including many in this room, many see it as a plot by the federal government and federal bureaucrats. In short, systemic change, at least in the hands of the federal government, is anathema to our deeply held belief and trust in local control. But I wonder, and I ask this of you to think about, what is local control without a national vision and commitment to raising the quality of all public schools? Remember that the most memorable line in the 68-page Nation at Risk report, released on April 23, 1983, said this: "If an unfriendly foreign power had attempted to impose on America the mediocre educational performance that exists today, we might well have viewed it as an act of war." And so here we are in 2017, debating what many once believed was not just doable, but urgent and necessary as a matter of national security. Does ESSA fulfill that pledge? To treat school reform as a matter of national security? That is the question. And with that, I would like to ask Jeremy to come up and help this panel get on its way. Thank you.